Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Samurai back again with another video on Ark of Osiris, and there was an update recently about 5 new skills that got into the game for the game mode for the skill system. So I'm gonna talk about those skills and why I think they are important for, well, you know, for your gameplay or for not using them, because you gotta remember with Ark of Osiris, the skill system and the way it's set up is you only get 6 skills to use, and each of them use a certain amount of skill bar points, or however they're uh, clarified. But as far as it goes, I did go over things like running charge. I said that and swift stride would be really good, just because one only affects an area and the other one affects everyone. So depending on, I'd say, your situation, I did say, maybe if you're like getting the arc and you get that 1 point of difference, I mean, it does make a difference, especially for people around the arc who are trying to like get away and capture it. Swift stride, I'd say, would probably be the counter to that. Like, if people are like, oh, we gotta go, like, stop the person with the arc from capturing it, then you would want everyone, like, on go time, not just, the other people around it. I did talk about hard push and relentless siege. I have yet to see what those do. War drums is good. I would say most everyone should have war drums. Teardown can be really good, but I think it's very situational. I think it's more or less if they just have a really strong garrison commander, you'd probably want to use Teardown, but most everyone who's pairing up against each other has relatively the same power and relatively the same, like, I guess I'd want to say, like, someone from each side has a certain commander at a high enough level to, like, take each other out or defend. So I guess that could be good. Mystical formation, we talked about. You increase the defense of up to 30 alliance troops within an area. I don't know how I feel about this. Like I said, I think it's good for specific situations. Most of these skills, I'd say, you're primarily using around the arc. You can use it in other places. Like, maybe if someone's trying to get a cut off, you're like, okay, I'll throw it on top of them so they can win that fight, so they can cut the arc bearer off. But outside of that, you're not really just going to use it anywhere at any time. Valiant Stand is to increase the alliance troops when garrisoning a specified structure by 50% for 5 minutes. I think that's really good, especially if you pop it at the right time when the rally's coming, because right around that time, I mean, the march time isn't 5 minutes, I don't believe, but it definitely helps when they're like about halfway there. You pop it, so that way you get a couple extra minutes of value, especially if they start swarming it with the rally, because Ark is not like, like doing KVK or fighting in your kingdom where you get deaths, you just get sev wounds. So people don't really care if they swarm or not. So it definitely could be really helpful. Mending Pouch, I said, was good in the last video. I like the fact that it's only 2 skill bars and you get a healing factor of 5,000. I mean, I think it's really good just because situationally, not everyone who's fighting everywhere is going to need to be healed all at the same time, especially if everyone's winning their fights, or like most, like, let's say 60% of the people on your team are winning. I wouldn't say that you need to, like, get the one that costs 6 skill bars and wait that long, because you could just pop that one win the fight that you really need to win in the area you're at, and move on. You know, and it's only 2, so you can get it right back. But the cooldown time is the thing, and that's the other thing with the more skill bar that it costs, the longer the cooldown time. So I really don't like see the relevancy of using anything that's like 4 or higher, because it just takes so long to get back that it just makes the game harder, and the skills being used, I would rather just use ones that cost 2, get them right back, use them again for another situation, because that fight right there could be the winning fight. And rather than popping the 6 skill and then being like, oh, we're fought, and then you might still lose, and then you kind of wasted like 3 skill bars worth of build-up. Divine Haste, I don't really like it. I mean, it only costs 1, but scouting march speed, I mean, obviously if you're timing your rallies with your scouts and everything else, it should be fine. So I really don't see why you would need it. Insatiable Desire increases the speed of all Alliance Caravan visits by 50% for 5 minutes. Now, I'm also mentioning only some of the skills, by the way, that I think can be important, or I'm mentioning them throughout the video because I think some people want me to talk about them. Now, I didn't talk about Relentless Siege and Hard Push that much, or War Drums, because I feel like Hard Push and Relentless Siege are just kind of like, the descriptions are really weird, and I don't use them, so I didn't feel the need to really talk about them, because they just don't seem like something you would use. Now, if other people use them, I'd like to know how it actually works, because when I read the description, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because it says, well, okay, on Hard Push, the skill effects last for 2 minutes upon victory. The time required to occupy structures is reduced by 30 seconds. When your alliance launches a rally attack, and upon joining the rally, reduce troop march speed by 50%. So what I'm guessing from this is, once you win, the time required to occupy the structure is reduced by 30 seconds. So if it takes, I think it's like 2 minutes and some change, it'll take less than that by 30 seconds. But when your alliance launches the initial rally, a rally attack launches a rally attack, and upon joining the rally, reduce troop march speed. So when you join the rally, it reduces the march speed by 50%. I mean, I guess that is strong, but I feel like maybe they should have put that in, flipped it in the description, because that seems I feel like it would be confusing. Like, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I gotta win the fight and then do another rally to get this reduction. And that's what I think could be confusing, because I think the way I just explained it is how it works, but they put it at the end of the description instead of at the beginning. So, yeah. And then Relentless Siege is the same thing. But it says the rallied army has their march speed increased by 50%, and armies joining the rally have their march speed reduced. So I'm guessing as long as you're like reinforcing the rally with other armies, then it reduces their time to get to the rally. That's my best guess. Back down though, we did talk about Mending Pouch, and I did skip over Timely Support. I didn't mean to do that. Governors on Alliance side can heal wounded troops in war camps at 3 times the current speed for 15 seconds. So, I mean, I haven't gotten to use that skill yet, and I don't even know how it, like, the way it sounds like it works sounds pretty good, but at the same time, I'm kind of confused, because if it only lasts for 15 seconds, then, I mean, I'm guessing you can only pick one war camp to, like, drop it on. I don't know. I'd have to use the skill to see what it does, because I know it reduces the troop heal time, but for 15 seconds, like, I feel like it would just be like reduce it times 3, not for 15 seconds. Unless what they're trying to do is say, you drop it, use it, and then you have to use your, like, bandages within those 15 seconds of using that. That would probably make more sense, because then they're reducing the time for healing, so then you do your stuff, and then heal the troops, and then you're done. But, I mean, if you don't have a lot of healing speed ups, which, I mean, if you're playing Ark, you probably should. But if you don't, or you ran out, then this is kind of a wasted skill if they, you and your team don't have enough speed ups to go around toward the end, and you're like, well, that's a wasted skill. So, I mean, clearly you could use it. I think it would be good. It gets the troops out faster, and you're using less speed ups. Essentially, that's what it is. It's just a speed up reduction. Now, getting back to Insatiable Desire, increase the speed of all Alliance caravan visits by 50% for 5 minutes. I believe that's farming. So when you get there, you farm 50% faster. Because none of your gathering tree skills on your gathering commanders, I do not believe affect the caravan. Only skills like toward the end, like superior tools, I think would affect that, because it just says gathering speed. It's not gathering speed of wood or gathering speed of food or gold or stone. It's only gathering speed. So essentially, if your gathering commander does not have superior tools at all, it's definitely going to take longer anyway. And I mean, you should have people farming as well, like the caravans, but at the same time, it's like, just make sure they're in a position that's relatively away from the fighting. Don't, like, put it in the middle, like, I'd say between any of the shrines, because it makes it hard. Like, they will definitely get hit, you will have wounded, and your hospital will fill, and then you're like, well, shoot. I'd keep them close by to your cities if you can, so that you can kind of, like, monitor them and take care of any threats trying to pass your obelisk. Bog down. I like this. I like this a lot. I also hate it because it's kind of a catch-22 with how it works. It reduces the march speed of up to 10 enemy troops within an area by 50% and reduces their defense by 30% for 10 seconds. That's literally used on the art carry only, I feel like. You could probably use it on a rally as well, but it only lasts for 10 seconds. So if you use Valiant Stand and then you use Bog Down, you would have to use Bog Down somewhere around the last, like, 3 seconds of the rally, I'd say. So that it takes them a little longer to get there. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe if you're going to use it on a rally, it's more just to reduce their defense by 30% with Valiant Stand as well. Like, to, like, increase your garrison's defense and then you drop their defense. Could work out that way. But more or less, I'd use this on the art carrier for 10 seconds. Give everyone 10 extra seconds to catch up. And people are going to be guarding the ark, so anyone around that person, They're just taking equally amount of skill debuff. It's a debuff skill. Now, that is one of the new skills that coincided with timely support. Now, Desert Storm is also a new skill. This deals skill damage factor of 3,000 to up to 10 enemy troops within an area for 10 seconds. No effect against structures. So, this is an open field skill. So if you're fighting, and then you just want to burn them right at the end, real quick, you drop that, boom, you just hit all their troops. It's like having a giant E-Song skill, except the fact that, E-Song does a lot more damage than this, clearly. So yeah, I mean, I think it could be good, but it does cost 4 skill bars, so you're gonna have to like play out the situation with when to drop this. Like if it's a fight you might be losing but you could win, maybe drop it. Or if it's like a fight that you're winning and you want to turn and burn, so you burn them with that, grab the Ark, make a run for it. That could work too. Yeah, no, I like it though. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like if the game's really close and you think it could be close, you would want to use that skill. But you don't know because they match your power with the amount of people. So sometimes you have like 13, they have 4, but one of their 4 is like level 25. I mean, we had a situation like that a game back where they had 24, 24, 24, and a 25. And we didn't even have any T5 with us at that time, and I was on my farm account because my other account was away doing something else in another alliance at that time. So it definitely hurt because we just didn't have anyone with really high tech, and even though it was only 4 of them, 4 people really high tech, 5 marches each, they can put in work on. Well, we only had 9 people show up out of the 13. But if you're low enough, it doesn't make a difference. It's like trying to bounce a ping pong ball off a wall. So, yeah, no. That definitely did not go over well. So, yeah, I would just say, yeah. So, anyhow, Divine Aid, we'll talk about again. Immediately add 5 teleport chances to the alliance side. That can be good if you guys lose the obelisk, then get it back, then lose it, get it back, and then make your cities teleport out. Because if all of you are back at the starting zone, you got a long walk each time. So defending the structures is going to be way harder if you're going to walk really long walks each time, because they're able to destroy cities after they take the structure. And the only way I believe they can destroy a city is if they take the structure and your city is within the structure area. Because it's like in Alliance, I believe it's in Alliance territory. I totally forget how that works. That's my bad. I mean, I've played Ark a few times now, so I should know. Sneaky Tactics is a new one. Grants the hidden status to up to 10 Alliance troops within an area. Enemies cannot see these troops. Lasts for 30 seconds. The hidden status is removed upon initiating an attack. So, could you use this on a rally? Probably, but I mean, at the same time, I don't think you should. Because even though it applies a hidden status, and I mean, I would try it just for the heck of trying it out, but does the hidden status hide like a rally coming, like on initial attack? Because if they did, that'd be pretty cool. Like, you get 30 seconds out, and then all of a sudden, you throw hidden status, and it just cancels their warning indicator because your status is hidden. But at the same time, if it doesn't do that, then the enemy could just watch the the warning indicator and just wait for the countdown to do what they gotta do. So even if you're hidden, it wouldn't matter. Honestly, could you use it on the Ark? Maybe. I don't know if it would still show where the Ark is, or if it would be hidden, which would still be pretty cool. I mean, I'd have to see the skill in action. I never got to see it yet, but it does cost 5. Could it work out good? Sure. Hurlstone, deal direct damage factor of 10,000 to garrison troops inside of a structure. I mean, it costs 5. I'm not a fan. Unwavering Resolve reduces all damage taken by 50% on target troop for 3 seconds. I mean, it costs 5, 3 seconds, 50%. No, I'm not a fan. Because it says target troop. Doesn't even say like in an area. So you pick one, and for 3 seconds, they take 50% less damage. I mean, that's kind of okay. Not really. I mean, if it's the Ark Bearer, they're not going to do much. If it's just an ally, they're not going to do much. Especially if they're getting swarmed or murderballed. And for 5, I mean, you just wasted 5. You just wasted 5 skill bar for that one person for 3 seconds. No, it's don't even get it. Heaven's Grace. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Instantly heals some slightly wounded troops. Units healing factor of 15,000 for all alliance troops. Now this could be good, I guess, toward the end. But yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Cost 6, and it's too risky to use in a situation where one person might only need healing and everyone else is okay. So it's just kind of a waste. And to the death, it increases the damage dealt of up to 30 alliance troops within an area by 100%, and increases their damage reduction by 30%. Lasts for 1 minute. During this period, troops cannot receive any healing. The only problem I have with that is, well, I mean, if you don't have a commander that's doing any healing anyway, then yeah, you could use this skill. It would be super good. But if you got people out there like trying to do combos with Richard or any of your commander pairings that have heals in them, then you're totally kind of blowing out one of the skills that might do healing. And you cannot heal with Mending Pouch or anything else, so, I mean, it does cost 6 anyway, so it's not like you'd have time to probably redo that, but yeah, I kind of like it. It could be kind of good. It's all situational. But, anyway, the server's closing down in 1 minute. I hope this video helped you guys out a little bit, understand Ark a little more, and I went back over because the other video was a little staticky, and now that we have 5 new skills, I figured I'll take the time to kind of go back over some of those skills and just kind of give a quick rundown. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, please please like and subscribe. Definitely would help me out a lot, especially making these videos and kind of explaining what's going on. And I do have another video coming out soon, and I'm sorry as well for not making videos as recent. I've just been really busy, and work life and everything else, it makes it hard, but I'm trying. Anyway guys, hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. This was Samurai. Peace out.